Good morning, everyone. Let us start this session. So, in this session, we will going to derive one constant term which is related to underdamped system. So, that constant term, this is called as the logarithmic decrement. Okay. So, what is meaning of logarithmic decrement? So, it is defined as the natural logarithm of the ratio of any two successive amplitude on the same side of the mean line Okay, so this is called as a logarithmic decrement, which is a defined as the natural logarithm of the ratio of any two successive amplitude on the same side of the mean line. Okay, so it is represented as the delta. So mathematical equation is this delta. This is equal to, this is log to the base e or ln. This is x1 upon x2, or we can write delta is equal to log to the base e x2 upon x3, so on. Okay, so we can write this equation for any two successive amplitude on the same side of the mean line. Okay, and this logarithmic decrement, so it is only defined for the underdamped system, because underdamped system, it is the oscillatory system. Okay, so this is only for system having the zeta less than 1. So suppose for a particular system or a machine which is underdamped system, we have the graph displacement versus time. So this is x versus time. And this is the waveform of time. Okay. So suppose this value, it is the initial value. So we will take this as a x0. So this is the amplitude after one cycle. So this is the x1 value. After two cycle, this is a x2. This is x3, x4, and so on. Okay. So this delta, it remains constant for any two successive amplitude. So I will write this delta. This is equal to, if I consider first x0 and the successive amplitude x1, so we can write ln x0 upon x1. If I select x1 as a first value, then its successive value will be x2. So delta is equal to ln x1 upon x2. Okay. So similarly, we can write this delta constant value for any two successive amplitude on the same side. Okay. Now there is one relation between delta and the zeta value. Okay, that is a logarithmic decrement and the damping ratio zeta. So we have to find out that relation. Okay. So for that, we will use the equation of displacement for the underdamped system. So for the underdamped system, we have the equation of displacement, that is the equation of x, which is x is equal to a constant d1 e raised to minus zeta omega nt into cos or sine. So I will use here cos square root 1 minus zeta square into omega n t and a constant phi 1. Okay. So this is general equation for the displacement for the underdamped system. So now we will select any two successive displacement. Okay. And for that displacement, I will write this displacement. That is the displacement equation. So first I will select the x1. So this is your x1 value. And this is x2 value. Okay. So for the x1, we can write this equation as the constant d1 e raised to minus zeta omega n into time t1. That means if the time is t1, we will get this x1 value for the displacement. Cosine of 1 minus zeta square into omega n t1 plus constant phi 1. Okay. So this is the equation for the displacement x1. Similarly, we will write the x2 value. So x2 is equal to the constant d1. Constant d1 and phi 1 will not change because this complete equation, it will give the value of displacement for the given system at any time. Okay. So d1 and phi 1 will remain same. So d1 e raised to minus zeta omega n, only we have to change the time t2 so that we will get the x2 value. This is the cosine of 1 minus zeta square into omega n into time t2 plus phi 1 value. Okay. So here we have got the two displacement. One is x1 and x2 for time t1 and t2. Okay. So just take the ratio. So basically x1 and x2, these are successive values of the amplitude on the same side of the mean line. Okay. So now take the ratio x1 upon x2. So this is equal to d1 e raised to minus zeta omega n t1 cos 1 minus zeta square omega n t1 plus phi 1 and d1 e raised to minus zeta omega n t2 for displacement x2 cos square root 1 minus zeta square omega n t2 plus phi 1. Okay. Now this d1 we can cancel out. Okay. Now we need to find out the relation between the time t1 and t2. Okay. So this t2 time we can write in terms of time t1. So if you observe this waveform, then for x2, so this is the time axis. So this is the starting times, that is a t0. So up to x2, this is the time t2. Okay. And for x1, this is the t1 time. Okay. Now x1 and x2, these are the successive values of amplitude. That means this time gap between x1 and x2, it is the time period for the damp oscillation. Okay. So this time period, this is the TD value, time required for one complete revolution or one complete oscillation. Okay. So from x1 to x2, this is one complete cycle. So time is TD. So we can write T2 is equal to, this is T1 plus TD. Okay. So now we can replace the value of T2 in that equation. Okay, so just I will write the right hand side and cancel out this value. So this e raised to minus zeta omega n, this is cos square root 1 minus zeta square omega n t1 plus phi 1 and this is e raised to minus zeta omega n. This is t1 plus td cos square root 1 minus zeta square omega n. Okay. So here we can cancel out this value, this minus zeta omega n t1 and this minus zeta omega n t1. Okay. So remaining value is this td. So just I will write this square root 1 minus zeta square omega n as a omega d. Okay, that is a damp frequency. So this is cos omega d t1 plus phi 1 upon e raised to minus zeta omega n td. Now in bracket cos, this value we can write as omega d and just multiply this omega d t1 plus omega d and this is td plus phi 1. Okay. So now here the omega d value, this is equal to 2 pi upon td. Okay. So we can use this equation and just replace this value omega d. Okay. So omega d td, this value is equal to 2 pi. Okay. So just put here 2 pi. So your equation will be this cos omega d t1 plus phi 1 and this cos omega d t1 plus phi 1 plus 2 pi. Okay, so we can cancel out both these equations. So the equation will be e raised to minus, it in the numerator it will become plus. So this is x1 upon x2. This is equal to e raised to, this is plus zeta omega n td. Okay. So this ratio x1 upon x2, finally we will get the equation e raised to zeta omega n td. Now this td, this is nothing but 2 pi upon omega d. So x1 by x2, this value is e raised to zeta omega n into 2 pi upon omega d. And this omega d value, this is square root 1 minus zeta square into omega n. Okay, so finally omega n will get cancelled. So remaining value is x1 by x2, this is e raised to 2 pi upon square root 1 minus zeta square. So this is 2 pi zeta upon square root 1 minus zeta square. And now you can take the natural log. So ln x1 upon x2, this value, so it will become 2 pi zeta upon square root 1 minus zeta square. Okay, so this is the final equation. So this value ln x1 by x2, this is written as a delta, that is the logarithmic decrement. So it is equal to 2 pi zeta upon square root 1 minus zeta square. So what is the use of this equation? So for a particular system, experimentally, if you plot the waveform for its vibration, and if the waveform is underdamped system, this waveform is only for the free vibration, not force vibration. So this is a free vibration for a damped system. So experimentally, if you get this waveform for a particular spring mass and damper system, then from this waveform, you can find out what is the damping factor of that system. Okay. And for that, you have to just measure any two successive amplitude on the same side of the mean line. So let us take this as the x1 and this is the x2. So by using this relation ln x1 upon x2, you can find out this value delta, that is the logarithmic decrement, and compare this value with this equation. So we can find out this zeta value. Okay, so this is the use of this logarithmic decrement. So I hope you have understood this derivation. So now we will solve the problems on the logarithmic decrement for a underdamped system. So you can note down this problem. So in this problem, an underdamped shock absorber is to be designed for two-wheeler of mass 250 kg such that during the road bump, the damp period of vibration is limited to 3 seconds and the amplitude of the vibration should reduce to 118. This is a 1/18 in one cycle. Okay. Find the spring stiffness and the damping coefficient. Okay. So there is one shock absorber which is to be designed for the two-wheeler. So this is the given condition. I will just draw the schematic diagram. So this is the mass of the two-wheeler and this is the spring and damper arrangement. So here I have shown damper and spring separately. So this is a K and this is C. Okay. So once it passes over a speed breaker, so once it passes this speed breaker, this mass, it will start vibrating, and for that vibration, the amplitude, that is the initial displacement, it should reduce to 1/18 in a one cycle. Okay. So if you plot that graph, so if this is the initial displacement, so this value, this is the x0. Okay. This is the x1 value, and this is the one cycle. So after one cycle, the reduction in the amplitude, it must be 180. That means the relation between x1, it must be equal to 1/18 of x0. Okay. So that we will get the relation as x0 upon x1. This value, this is equal to 18. Okay. So question is, we have to find out the K value, that is the stiffness of the spring, and the damping coefficient. Okay. So damping coefficient means we have to find out the value of C, and damping factor is zeta. Okay. So to find out the C value, so we should find out the zeta value. Okay. So to find out zeta, we have to find out the logarithmic decrement. So use the formula of logarithmic decrement. Which is a delta, that is equal to ln x0 upon x1, any two successive values. So this value, this is 18. We have got the ratio x0 upon x1. So ln 18. So delta is equal to, this is a 2.89. Okay, so after delta, find out this zeta value. So use the relation delta. So second equation of delta is 2 pi zeta upon square root 1 minus zeta square. So put the value delta is equal to 2.89. This is equal to 2 pi zeta upon square root 1 minus zeta square. Okay. So you can solve this directly in the equation mode of your calculator, or you can expand this. So you can square both the sides. So you can cancel out this square root Okay, so use any one method and find out the zeta value. So here zeta value is, it is a 0.4178. Okay, so zeta and delta, they are unitless. Okay, so after zeta, you can use the formula C upon Cc. Okay, and in this formula, this is the damping constant, and this is a critical damping coefficient. So again, we can write this formula as C upon, this is a 2m into omega n, this is zeta. Okay, so C is equal to, it is a zeta into 2m into omega n. So for that, we should find out the omega n value, but omega n is not given in the problem. So what else is given? The damp time period is given. So the damp period of the vibration is limited to 3 seconds. Okay, so this is nothing but the TD value. This is 3 seconds. So from TD value, we can find out the natural frequency. Okay, so let us see how to find out the natural frequency from the damp time period. So we have TD, this is equal to 3 seconds. Okay, so TD, it is equal to 2 pi upon omega d. So we can find out omega d value. This is the damp natural frequency. So omega d, this is equal to 2 pi upon this 3 seconds, that is the TD. So omega d is 2.09. This is radian per second. Okay, and the relation between omega d and omega n, this is equal to, this is only for underdamped system, square root 1 minus zeta square into omega n. Okay, so by using this relation, you can find out the omega n value. So this is equal to omega d upon square root 1 minus zeta square. So that is equal to, this is 2.09 and square root 1 minus, so zeta value is 0.4178. Okay, so get the value of omega n. So omega n, this is equal to 2.3. Now put this value in this equation. So you can find out this C value. So C is equal to 0.4178 into 2, the mass of the system. So this is equal to 250 kg into 2.3. Okay, so you will get the value C. This is 480.47. This is Newton second per meter. So this is the damping coefficient. Okay, and next we have to find out the spring constant. So for this spring constant, that is a K value. So you can use the formula omega n, which is equal to square root K by n. So natural frequency for the damp vibration, it will remain same. So omega n is equal to square root K by n. So this is 2.3 square root K upon 250. So calculate the K value. So this is 1322.52 Newton per meter. Okay, so this is the spring constant. So whenever you solve the problems on the damped vibration for underdamped system, so you should know this formula. You can note down. So first is the natural frequency. So it is omega n, and the formula is square root k by m. This is only for simple spring mass system. Second is the damped natural frequency. So it is represented as omega d. So one formula is 2 pi upon Ed. And in terms of omega n, its second formula is omega d is equal to, it is a square root 1 minus zeta square into omega n. Okay. Then next is the logarithmic decrement. So logarithmic decrement, which is a delta, this is equal to ln x0 upon x1 or ln x1 upon x2. Take any two successive values. Then second formula for delta in terms of zeta, this is equal to 2 pi zeta upon square root 1 minus zeta square. Okay. Next formula is for zeta, that is the damping factor. Or the damping ratio. So zeta is equal to C upon Cc. So this is called as damping coefficient, and this is critical damping coefficient. So this is damping coefficient or the damping constant, and this is critical damping coefficient. So this formula, it is C upon C is a constant value. Okay. Cc value, this is 2m into omega n. This formula, it is for linear system. Okay. For torsional system, zeta is equal to C upon 2I into omega n. Okay. And for that case, this omega n, this is equal to square root kt upon I. Just replace k by kt and mass by moment of inertia. Okay. So you should know all this formulae when you solve the problem on the damped vibration.